Welcome to Greek for a Week. I'm glad that you are looking at another video as we continue our study in the book of First Thessalonians. We're looking this week at verses 4 and 5, which will again wrap up our paragraph of 3 1 through 5. And as you recall, this is where Paul sends Timothy to Thessalonica because he remains in Athens. So if we review just for a second here, verse 2 states, "And we sent Timothy, our brother and fellow worker of God in the gospel of Christ, in order," there's for our purpose, "in order to strengthen you and to encourage you concerning your faith." Result is in verse 3, "so that no one would be disturbed by these afflictions. For you yourselves know that we have been appointed for this." Now, verse 4, "For indeed, when we were with you, we spoke to you in advance that we were about to suffer, just as also it came to pass even as you know." Verse 5, "For this reason," or you could say on account of this, "when I also could no longer forbear, I sent for the purpose of knowing your faith, for how the tempter might have tempted you, and our labor was in vain." So as we look through a few things here, you're going to notice that I'm going to bring out several verbal forms. The first one here is amen. That is the first person plural imperfect active indicative of Amy. That's when he states we were, and then here's with you. The proelegamen. Here's the proelegamen. First person plural imperfect active indicative of prolego. And then you see here melamen. That's the first person plural present active indicative of mellow. And the way that that verb is stated, we are about to, and then what is it we are about to do? And here's our complementary infinitive, the present passive infinitive, right here. And then verse 5, you have dia tauta, okay, which is the cause. Why did we send Timothy? This again could be worded on this account, or on account of this. The stegon here is likely a temporal participle. You could use when or while. It's a present active participle, singular, nominative masculine. Then you have the pempsa. Here's my verbal form in verse 5, first person singular aorist active indicative of pempo. Then you have a purpose infinitive. You have the eis ta plus the infinitive genonai. So the eis ta plus the infinitive would give me a purpose infinitive. Then you have another verbal form here, the peirosen, third person singular aorist active indicative of peiratzo, which is tempt there. And then the last one, the ha peirazon, here is your substantival participle. So that's verse 4 and 5 to wrap up this particular paragraph. So what we'll do next week is we'll diagram verses 1 through 5, see how they all fit together, and then we'll look at the remaining verses following here, verses 6 through, it'll likely be 6 through 10, and then 11 through 13, or maybe even 9 through 13 will be the final paragraph of chapter 3. Have a great week.